introduce you. Srinivas, Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze. This guy has been I've been in MAD for the last 1.5 years, and he's been a very good mentor. And it's an honor to actually invite him over to deliver his speech.
My name is Kodamanchili Maruti Srinivas.
What's that?
What's there in the name? That's my name, I repeat. Kodamanchili Maruti Srinivas.
Kodamanchili Maruti Srinivas.
Good, grammarian, you should get it by next week. Now, word Kodamanchili is my family name. It's been carried on from generations to generations, and nobody has clue what it means. The middle name Maruti is one of the Hindu gods, which none of you are. One of the Hindu gods, which is the name of a flying god. And I've heard that even among Buddhists, there is a flying god. So it is something like that. And the last name Srinivas means, Sri means a place, not a place. Sri means wealth, good fortune. Nivas means stay. You mean Srinivas means that a place wealth stays. For me, wealth comes and wealth goes. It never stays. Last year, as a treasurer of MAD Toastmaster Club, wealth came and wealth went. It just passed me by. So in a way, my name actually means that a flying god who just passes around the wealth. That's it. So hang around with me. At the same time, I feel I'm more like a banker. You know bankers? They play with money, not their money. They count the money, other people's money. They have so much of money every single day, and none of them really belongs to them. But that's kind of is my name. Maybe because my dad was a banker. That's true story. Now what's there in a name? Dale Carnegie once said, for a person to hear his or her name is the sweetest thing. Because that's one thing most of us hear since the time you're born. For some of them, maybe after a week or 2 weeks later, where the parents finally decide, okay, that will be the name. In Indian culture, they take a while to decide names. In Western culture, they decide before the person is born. But they already like, a dot. Boy will be this name, girl will be this name. It's already decided. Some of them go very easy. They put the name Robin. It goes for guys, goes for girls. Now some of them are very confused. And if you want to be offended, go ahead, because I'm doing a funny joke, so it's going to have fun. Some of you, names will be brought in. So what's their name, you will realize it. For example, some of them, they can't decide what's the name. It's like, shall I decide the name, or you decide the name, or we all get together decide the name. Then they say, I don't know. Let's decide the name, we, you. I remember a time where, when I came newly to Malaysia, I had trouble. I met a friend whose name was Bird, and the wife's name was Violin. I'm like, Violin? He says, no, Violin. It took few weeks till I saw the name. Oh, Violin.
Violin.
So me and my Indian friends, when we hear the name for the first time, we think, Violin. And that's why sometimes my friends say, hey, where's the guy, huh? The wife's name is Violin. The guy's guitar. I said, no, Violin. So I took some time for me to really get those names. Because in Malaysia, Chinese have names which is very hard for Indians. I remember I was meeting a client, and we saw the call. I said, okay, appointment fixed. You're going to meet this guy. And my client from Germany, like, let's go. What's the guy's name? You. It's like, how do we write the name now? We are going to write an email. What's the spelling of you? And he asked me. I said, I've got no clue. I've got no clue. This was like really long time ago when I was very new in Malaysia. How do we write you? He looked at me, you, how do you write you? I said, I don't know. And I have to make few calls because we don't know. Later we found out in Malaysia we have YU is also you, YEW is also you, and there are a lot of other spellings. I'm like, that is hard. So when we met him, yes, it was you, Mr. You, and we have no clue. But finally we got the card. I said, that's how you write the name you. Nothing to do with you. Now, of course, I have heard of African names. You know, you heard of names? Lay, those kind of names. I know that would be tough. I really know that. I mean, the first thing you're gonna ask them like, how do you spell it? And the person says A, E, semicolon, L-I. That is really hard to write because you can't write. It has to be. So that would be hard. That's one reason I have never entered an African restaurant because I'm scared. I'm going to offend one of those waiters or managers when they tell their name, and I will be laughing like anything, and then my food's going to be bad. Now, in this world of names and all those things is very important. I learned that remembering the names of every person I meet. Try your level best, because one thing we learn in Toastmasters, you go meetings by meetings and this event and that event, you technically get to meet like average meeting 20 people in 2 hours. If it is a half day event, you meet like 100 people sometimes. It's hard to remember names. But I realized in a leadership way, the best thing you can do for somebody is remember their name. It is hard, but it's possible. It is hard, and it's so nice if you meet the person, instead of saying that, I know you were the MC something, that day, Sat Sri Akal, what's your name? Huh? Yes, now I know, I can read now, Ajit Park. That is not nice. What if you walk into the main, Derek, it's so nice to meet you, please come back, Rebecca and LB. Oh, that's LB, not looking bad, that's LB. But you can tell your mind looking bad, looking good, LG, LB, so then you remember. But the important part is that you remember somebody's name. Because when we are leaders, you walk into a room full of people, and if you could remember their names, you may have craziest names. And the harder the name is, and you remember it, trust me, they will respect you for doing nothing. Just for remembering their names. So name, what's there in the name? You know who said it? James Bond said, what's there in a name? Kidding, Shakespeare said, what's there in a name? So yes, remember the name. That is the first step of making the sales, making the leadership way, and growing and building friendships. Back to you.